I went to school first at the American University of Beirut for my undergraduate studies in civil engineering. I was very interested in building bridges growing up, and I wanted to do that as a career. As part of my final year project, I had the chance of working on a community development project in Beirut, in a very highly congested area. Had a lot of infrastructural challenges to its transportation system, as well as the piping network in the area had a lot of problems. So our team as civil engineers was to propose new designs for improving the functionality of that area, improving the designs, the rehabilitation of the infrastructure in that area. During our stakeholder meetings to share our designs, a lot of what we're proposing, including changing the functionality of one of the historic roads there and the farmers market, because it made engineering sense for us, was not accepted by the community because of the historic and social relevance that it had to the community. So that was a big aha moment for me. And it made me realize that engineering knowledge and tools are important but not sufficient to address some of the more complex challenges that require an understanding of the social, political, economic context that you're addressing those challenges in. I was at Qatar Foundation actually for 2 years, working on a research project that started during my master's studies, working on a specific case study related to food security in Qatar. There, I worked on developing a tool for evaluating different trade-offs associated with food security, water security, energy security decisions that Qatar was developing at the time. And I was working with Dr. Rabia Muhtar, who moved to Texas A&M, and through with his research team, I moved here and did my PhD here until 2019. So initially joined the Department of Biological and Agricultural Engineering as a research associate there as part of the Water Energy Food Nexus Research Group. Completed my PhD in water management and hydrologic sciences. And then after I graduated, moved to Texas A&M Energy Institute, where I continued with this line of research, but also focusing now more on community engaged, evidence-based energy transition, looking at localizing sustainability indicators with local communities. For the past, I would say, 10 years now, we've been working on a case study looking at barriers for communication and coordination between water, energy, and food sectors in San Antonio. Working as part of an NSF-funded project there in the past 2 years have been focused on really engaging with communities, working with stakeholders across different departments and different organizations in the city to develop a localized sustainability dashboard for the city of San Antonio. So we often say we want a future that is more sustainable, that is more resilient, that is more equitable. But what does that mean? How are we measuring sustainability? What you might think of when you say the word sustainability might be different from how I'm viewing sustainability. And same goes with resilience, same goes with equity. So we're really engaging through a series of workshops asking this specific question: what does sustainability mean for a city like San Antonio? What does good health mean? What does food security mean? What does a sustainable energy transition mean? What does no poverty mean? We've been guided by the Sustainable Development Goals framework, which is a set of 17 goals that focus on a wide spectrum of goals, from alleviating poverty to reducing hunger to ensuring energy security, food security, climate action, etc. So that dashboard would help the city at a planning level to identify how it's performing as a city according to all of these indicators. And again, to highlight certain hotspots or areas that require further attention, that require new programming to address these areas where they're underperforming, and maybe scale up programs that are impacting positively a lot of the indicators as well. we need all of the above, and we need interdisciplinary research. We need mechanisms that allow for collaboration between different stakeholders, and we need to build those bridges between researchers within the research community, but also on the operational side. So it comes back full circle with the bridge building. I think a lot of the challenges we face today are too complex for one discipline to address and too complex for one type of stakeholder, whether it's public, private, or societal actor to address. Recognizing that these challenges are interconnected is not sufficient for us to assume that those bridges will build themselves. So there needs to be an intentional effort to build those bridges and build those mechanisms in a way that is consistent with our increasing recognition of how interconnected all of our challenges are.